In a quiet neighborhood, there was a small blue house with white curtains. In that house lived a 10-year-old boy named Ethan, his little sister Lily, and their parents. Everything was normal until they moved into that house. The first strange thing happened the day they unpacked. Ethan was exploring the upstairs when he noticed a small wooden door behind the curtain in his room. It wasn't much taller than his knee. "Mom, there's a tiny door in my room." He called Dot. His mom peeked in. "Oh, it's probably just a crawl space. We'll keep it closed," she said. But that night, Ethan heard it. A faint whisper coming from behind the tiny door. He pulled his blanket up to his nose and tried not to breathe loudly. The whisper came again. This time, "Ethan, come play." He didn't sleep much that night. The next day, he told Lily, "You're just making it up," she said, but she looked nervous. That night, Ethan placed a toy robot in front of the little door, just to be sure it didn't open. But when he woke up the next morning, the robot was gone. Dot in its place was a tiny paper note, written in messy, crooked letters. "That was fun. Try again tonight." Ethan was scared, but also curious. He didn't want to tell his parents. They'd never believe him. So, he decided to watch the door that night. At midnight, the door creaked open, slowly, and something stepped out. It wasn't a monster. It was a boy, maybe a little older than Ethan, but strange. He wore old-fashioned clothes, had pale skin, and his eyes looked a little too shiny. "Want to play?" the boy asked, smiling. Before Ethan could answer, the boy ran into the hallway and disappeared. The next day, Lily said she saw the same boy in her room. Now Ethan was sure this wasn't a dream. That night, Ethan followed the boy through the little door. Inside was a narrow tunnel, lit by flickering light. At the end of the tunnel, he found a small room with broken toys, old drawings, and a dusty mirror. The boy stood in the corner. "I used to live here," he whispered, "but I got forgotten. Left behind. Now I just play." Ethan looked around. "What do you want from me?" The boy smiled wider. "Someone who remembers me." Ethan stepped closer. "I can remember, but you have to let me go home." The boy stared at him for a long time. Then he nodded. But just as Ethan turned to leave, the air grew cold. "Too cold." The boy's voice came again, quieter, shakier. "Wait. You should know, they never found me." Ethan turned back slowly. "What do you mean?" The boy's eyes darkened. His smile faded. "My name was Thomas. I lived here a long time ago. I had a little sister too, like you. But one night, I followed something into the walls, and I never came back." The room around them began to flicker, as if it couldn't decide what year it was. 1 second, it was the dusty secret room Ethan saw before. Then suddenly, it was clean, filled with toys, a child's bedroom from decades ago. "I tried to call for help," Thomas whispered, "but no one heard, not even my sister." Ethan's heart was pounding. He looked at the dusty mirror. In it, he saw 2 boys, himself, and Thomas, who had no reflection. A horrible thought came to him. "What happened to your body?" Ethan asked, almost afraid of the answer. Thomas looked down. "Still here, in the walls, behind the bricks." Ethan swallowed. "Do you want me to find it?" Thomas nodded slowly. "If they find me, maybe I can rest." The next morning, Ethan woke up with a clear memory. It felt more real than a dream. He searched the internet at school and found a very old missing child case from 1957. The photo was blurry, but the eyes were the same. Thomas. That evening, Ethan took a flashlight and quietly removed the old wooden panel in the hallway wall near the floor. Behind it, in the dark, he found something wrapped in cloth. Small, human, forgotten. He ran to tell his parents. The police came the next day. They confirmed it. It was the remains of a child, lost for decades. A cold case finally closed. That night, Ethan sat in his room, wide awake. The little door was gone now, completely vanished. But just as he drifted off, he heard a soft whisper, not creepy this time, gentle, peaceful. "Thank you." Ethan smiled, and for the first time in days, he slept soundly. He never saw Thomas again. But every now and then, when the house was very quiet, he thought he heard laughing in the walls. Not scary, just happy.